It is a curse to see so clearly.
Space Coconut.
Okay, so I was originally going to just do gameplay and talk about the maps and the patch and all of that stuff, but the game locked up on me several times. So I stopped playing and then went back to 7 days. But what I do want... I saw a tweet this morning, and or actually I had a realization. I remembered a video that I wrote, or that I made, I don't even remember when, back in October of last year. And that video was actually a letter to the devs. It was highlighting all of the peaks of players that happened over the course of, since their launch up until the point of that video. And the whole point of the video was to encourage the devs to focus on fixing the core problems of the game, and that would help bring back and hopefully retain the player base, because everybody knows that while Dead by Daylight is not dying, the players that come into the game leave just as quickly. The player base doesn't grow as much as it could. The player base doesn't stay as large as it could because the players leave for various reasons. And the biggest reason is because, well, there are many reasons. We're not really going to go into that. The litter goes into that. But in this most recent patch, we actually, in the Steam charts for this short period of time, let's see, the end of March, it was off and on. I'm looking at it, it's pretty spotty. I'm pretty sure the end of March is when all the Corona stuff started going on, so of course people are going to stay home in that. But as of, yesterday, the 24th, as of the 24th, the release of the patch, or near the release of the patch, the PTB and all of that, the peak players reached its second highest level at like 58,477. At least, and this is in the past 24 hours as of me looking at it right now. And that's because they fixed the maps. Because they adjusted the maps. They fixed one of the issues that caused, or had, that was a balance issue in regards to the gen rush. They focused on the core issue, and an absurd number of people came back to the game. It wasn't a free weekend this weekend, as far as I know. There wasn't any new content per se. The Deathslinger has been released for a couple of months now, or weeks. I don't really pay attention to the time, but over the past few hours, it's been the map changes and the breakable walls to some extent. Well, no, yeah, the map changes, literally the map changes, and some gen speed adjustments. Those core issues were addressed, at least just starting to be addressed, right? And the player base skyrockets. So I just want to pat myself on the back. I hope that the devs see the correlation between choosing to focus on the game and what it does to their player base versus just focusing on another DLC. I hope. That is my hope. When was the Deathslinger released? The beginning of March, looks like. He popped in the beginning of March. So looking at the Steam charts, January, February, March, that, along with the Deathslinger, we also had breakable walls. So while yes, a new killer could be the reason that we had this spike, the possibility of having balance in infinites and things like that could have also been a factor in having the March numbers go up to 51,000. So, who knows? Who knows for sure? But I would like to believe that it was, core issues that, created these numbers. Now, on Twitter, Senzu Duck, let's see, where's that message? Senzu Duck sent this to me. He said, there was also 52,000 people playing when they nerfed Nurse. It's almost as if updates bring in players. KEKW. I predict the next DLC will bring in more players, by the way. Watch this space, I'm definitely going to be right. Now, while I'm pretty sure he was just mocking me, what he failed to point out was this little increase in player base. What happened in that spot? Well, let me share that with you. Okay, October 2019. It just says it here, but looking at this, it's the end of October, just before November, right? 2019. We have our number of 52,818. Now, the number didn't increase or change much, but what happened here? We had a concurrent player base or player activity of about 30,000, which jumped almost 20,000 over the course of what does that look like? A couple of weeks, right? What happened here? Patch 3.1.0. This happened on July 23rd, end of July, beginning of June, right? June, July, August. So the end of July. June, July, August. What happened here? We can't really see it. July, yeah, end of July to August. So the end of July. Patch 3.1.0 happened on July 23rd, 2019. And in that patch, we had the nightmare changes. Freddy, who had been broken for, since his release, or at least a week after his release, was changed. A change that many killer players had been, dying for, wanting, and who knows about Survivor players. Players in general. We'll just generalize this. Players wanted Freddy fixed. And that's what happened here in this one big jump. And then shortly after, a few months later, the player base stayed the same, and we had the nurse changes happen in October, and then we had a slow decline until what happened here? End of March to March 2nd, March 9th. What happened there? No, we had the Deathslinger, and then March 9. We had the Deathslinger. What was this? The hooks were changed. Sabotage happened. Plague. Oh, the Trapper had some quality of life stuff happen. The Doctor was changed. What else we got here? It looks like the Doctor was the big one here, in addition to having a new killer. So, new killer, Trapper quality of life, Plague quality of life, although it was tiny. The Doctor changes, which was a massive rework, which made him better, I think. And then lots of bug fixes. And that's what happened in end of March. So as we can see, it's consistent. It's consistent. All of these increases in the player base, all these, skyrockets in numbers happen because the devs, look at and fix core issues in the game. Although the Trapper quality of life and the Doctor change can't really be attributed, the entirety of it can't be attributed to those changes, but they're 100% factors because it's consistent across all of Dead by Daylight's history. And if you do the research yourself, you look at each date and then go to the patch notes and figure out which date the things happened, you'll see that all of these spikes happened because of a core balance change. If I remember right, this one in August, this might have been because of the endgame collapse, or maybe it was this one in April for 75,000. I'm not sure. I'm not going to go into it right now because that's not what this video is about. The video is about, hey look devs, core issues are what are going to bring players back to the game. Please continue to do what you're doing because you're doing good. Yes, the game is buggy. Yes, there are crashes and there are problems, and I can't even play the game. I'm sure many people are happy about that, but please shift your focus away from, the battle passes, away from new DLC. Well, this is just my opinion. Okay, everybody likes new killers and new things and shiny new stuff, but the foundation of the game still needs a little work. I know you know that. The next big change that I imagine is coming is going to be changes to the Moris, the keys, and some various perks. That's what I imagine is going to happen next. The next really big thing is going to be matchmaking, and that's when you're going to see your next big spike in playership. If that system is good, the players are going to stay. If the foundation of the game is good, these players are going to stay. And instead of these being peaks and valleys, you're going to have a player base that just climbs. People are going to want to stay and play the game rather than play for a few weeks and then leave, be out of frustration. Thank you, Senzu, for helping me make my point. This was just a tiny, short video because, you know what? I always talk crap about the devs. I always do. you know this. But if they do good, it's important to point out what they do good. It's important to... In their last thing, they want us to talk about what's good. They want us to focus on the positive. Hey, devs, we like this. And so the devs said that they will do this more, right? This is me doing that. Hey, devs, focus on the core stuff. You did good. Please keep doing it. I'm going to try and play some Dead by Daylight. If it crashes again, I'm going to be playing 7 days. It's important for you devs to fix your bugs too. Until next time, I'll see you in the fog.